I'll add the marker and I'm just gonna go ahead and go. Oh man, this has been a little bit coming here. Generation 4, crazy that we're actually in this bit in the TCG right now, but hey, it is what it is, and we have stuff like Manaphy over here to be great. So a little bit of heads up on the way this is going to work, at least for now. I think this is the last set we're going to do as an actual draft for the moment, because a couple of us are feeling rather burned out on this. Like, we haven't done it consecutively, but we've effectively done this for every week for quite a while now. And yeah, stuff has been kind of going a bit weird. Behind the scenes stuff we're not going to go into too much, but we want to change it up a little bit. So I don't know exactly how we're going to set it up yet, but we're going to try some more constructed versions of this without actually using the pack opening for a while, and see if everybody having access to everything will help to improve creativity a little bit, we shall say. Or we just end up seeing all of the best, like the recorded top tiers, etc. from the meta, and hey, that could be interesting in its own right. Diamond and Pearl as a set, though, to go into the actual thing here, we have removed ourselves from the EX era, so we are no longer under multi-prize Pokemon for now. Reasonable block where we don't have multi-prizes, actually. What we have instead are level X Pokemon, which are very powerful cards that they count as... It's kind of weird, because Gen 4 reintroduced the level system that was only in the first generation of cards for some reason. Like, I don't know why they stopped doing it, but they have it again now, so you've got like an Empoleon level 42 up here. But this Empoleon down here is a level X, which is not level 10. That would be very weird. But it's kind of an evolution stage above, except it's not actually an evolution. The way that it works is that you put the level X on top of the active of the same name. So it doesn't actually count as like a stage 3 in this case, so you can only play 4 in total of Empoleon and Empoleon level X. But when you put this card on top, you can use all of the traits, all of the attacks and the Pokepowers and Pokebodies of the card underneath the Empoleon. I'm going to switch this on, not because I don't like it, but because it's going to compete with me. So, in Empoleon's case here, you gain 10 HP, so not a lot that way, but you get the weakness resistance stuff is actually the same in this case. Quite often it'll be like ×2 instead. Retreat cost is still the same, but sometimes that changes as well. But we gain access to 2 very powerful effects here, one of which lets you double Light Force Sword the opponent, if you know Yu-Gi-Oh! Forces 2 cards out of the opponent's hand at random, and you don't get to see what they are, but it stops them from using them until the end of the next turn. And you also get a very powerful Hydro Impact attack, which for free water energy snipes 80 on your opponent's board somewhere, then the Empoleon can't attack next turn. You do still have access to the regular Empoleon's attacks, which are Ice Blades as a snipe for 40 for 2 energy, and Aqua Jet, which is 70 for free, and if you flip heads you snipe 20 with that as well, which is really, really strong. The other starters also do get their setup here as well, so we can go over probably the Infernape base is the one that we want to see first. This card actually is getting a Pokemon V, which is exactly the same, which is weird. Meteor Punch, Flip until Tails get 30 damage for each heads for just 1 energy, and then Flare Blitz is the attack you're going to see most here. 2 fire for 90 and discard all the fire that's on this thing. This is a double rainbow to do 80, which is absurd. Very low HP compared to the Empoleon. I did mention this is 130. We've finally broken that 120 cap for single prizes, but Infernape is sitting at just 100. But it also doesn't have a retreat cost, which is pretty great as well, so we're gonna see that a lot today. The level X to go with it lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, discard 2 and put 1 into hand, which is pretty strong, and then its Flare Up attack, if you use this instead of Flare Blitz, does a massive 150 damage, absolutely insane cap on this thing. But in order to use it, you have to shuffle 8 fire energy specifically from your discard pile into your deck. So it takes a lot of setup, and even when you're discarding fire energy with its main attack, it's still going to take a while to do that. But Yeah, that is kind of ridiculous. Also, you gain 20 HP and you don't even give it a retreat cost. Apologies for that. Yeah, so pretty good. The Torterra is still nice, but a little bit hard to use. For 3 colorless energy, it does 30 and paralysis on a coin flip. For 2 grass and 2 colorless is the attack you're more likely to try and see. You do 60 and heal 20 from each of your grass Pokemon. So that could be kind of cool if you can set enough of them up. 4 retreat cost on this thing is huge, but a massive 140 HP is the highest of the set. So that's kind of neat. The level X is what makes Torterra actually usable though. Gigantic 160 HP on this thing, and it lets you counter catcher the opponent, or POW hand extension as we've seen it before, where you force the opponent to switch if you are behind on prizes. And its Vigorous Dash is 100 for 3 grass and the colors. It's expensive, but 100 for 4, or 2 if you use a Scramble Energy, 30 to one of the opponent's bench, and Torterra does 30 to itself as well. So it does kind of sting itself a fair bit, but it's a really good amount of damage on the active. It does a little bit of spread, and you can gust the opponent to whatever you need them to be. So, pretty strong. Some of the other holo stuff that's worth noting here, Dusknoir has been a big contention point throughout these last couple of weeks. If the opponent has 4 more bench Pokemon in play, you shuffle one of them into the deck. You get to choose. It's not like Giant Stump, so that's kind of absurd. Hard Feelings is not amazing. 5 damage counters for 2 Psychic and a Colorless, plus 1 damage counter for each prize the opponent has taken. So, okay, you can do like 9-10 damage counters at the end of the game with that, but not particularly strong. Damage counters don't hit for weakness, etc. Electivire requires Elekid to be under the Electivire to do really good stuff, but it does let you move Lightning Energy around, which is really good, because then you discard those Lightning Energy to do 120 on this thing. Most of the time in this exact format you would play this with Dragonite to accelerate to the bench, move it to the active with Devire, and then do 120, which is a really, really good number. So, yeah. Lucario, very strong because it's a fighting type, but Aura Sphere is just a good attack in general. 2 fighting energy for 40, plus 20 to one of the opponent's bench. It's cheap, it's efficient, it just does the job. Also 90 HP, so very bulky on that aspect. Luxray isn't really going to see too much play no matter what, unfortunately, because 4 lightning energy is just not nearly good enough. 80 damage and move all those lightning to 1 Pokemon in particular. Meh. Its ability is kind of cute. You can steal a card from the opponent's hand and force them to bench it like a basic Pokemon, and, you know, bring that up so you could then kill it with Lightning Star, but bleh, just not very strong. Magnezone, kind of noteworthy because there's a good Magneton that gets energy back from the discard, right? And now there's basic Metal and Darkness energies. We could actually get basic energy back with that too, to put on this thing. If you've got a Metal Energy on your active Pokemon, it doesn't have a retreat cost, which is relatively strong, and Metal Blast does effectively 80 for free. And it scales with any other energies that you want to put on. So yes, it's expensive to get it up to big numbers, but you can get it up to 1-hit KO numbers if you are so inclined. Probably needs some sort of movement ability that we don't have though. Manaphy, thank God the fossil rules have changed because they now give up prizes, because otherwise Manaphy would be insane. 2 water energy, 30 damage, switch it with one of the opponents, one of your bench, which is great because it's a basic, so really strong there. Also cool for family. Miss Magus does lots of damage if the opponent's got lots of energy on. This is 90 for free energy if the opponent's put free energy on their stuff as well. Maybe that's okay. Rhyperior is a very funny thing. I'm also moving that one because it's going to compete. Yeah, Rhyperior is very funny because when you evolve into it, it discards the top 3 cards of the opponent's deck, otherwise not particularly good. Roserade, very expensive, but there's a good Roselia, so maybe an ambush style deck could have used it in this exact format. If Voodoo is anywhere underneath the Roserade, you can do 50 for free energy and snipe 30, so 80 total. The Voodoo itself is really good because it has a 0 energy attack, new thing for Gen 4, and this lets you search a deck for a trainer card. Trainer card now is item only, because supporters have got a different tag, as do stadium cards, so it can only search items, but that's still really good on a 0 energy attack, so yeah, nice stuff. Shiftry, Not super good here. If you have it as the active, you can flip to devolve one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay. Spirit Dance just doesn't do enough damage. You've got basic Darks to power it now, but whatever. Skuntank is so bad it's not even worth talking about, unfortunately, as is Staraptor, mostly because if you flip Tails for Staraptor, it kills itself in one shot, so even though 100 for 4 colors is good, meh. Azumarill doesn't do too much. Yeah, you need Azurill to get the coin flip thing on it here, and even then, yeah, that's like 60 for free plus a paralysis flip is not very good. Beautyfly, a little bit underpowered in terms of the damage it does, otherwise this would be strong. Giga Drain healing for how much you do is pretty good, but it's only 50 for 4 energy, which is the bad part. Also 100 HP is a bit more accessible to kill now, so nah. Carnivine is cool. If you've got more HP left than the opponent, you do 90 for 2, no, you do 60, not 90. Its damage is 60, not 30. But still, you only have 70 HP, so if you out-tank the opponent, then you kill them, which is pretty neat. So, yeah, kind of fun. Clefable brings back Metronome, although now it's a free cost instead of a 1 cost, so probably not super good, but still boost energies in format, so that's kind of neat. The Drifblim is potentially a control card, it's probably not good enough for it, but search your discard pile for 5 in any combination of Pokemon and supporter cards and shuffle them into deck, so supporter cards are not really accessible from the discard right now, because they are rather locked, right? We don't have Versus Seeker, and Hold On Transceiver is the only way of getting them otherwise, so maybe this could do some good work once Transceiver rotates after this set. I don't really know. Dustox just poisons. It's like 70 for 4, which is not particularly good. Gengar is interesting. Life Drain on a coin flip is still awkward, but you know, if heads, you 10 HP away from KOing the opponent, which is cool. And Shadow Dance puts 4 damage counters on the opponent however you want, and then switch Gengar with one of your bench, which kinda has a thing that you could do with it, but maybe 4 damage counters just isn't enough. I don't know. Other noteworthy stuff, Machamp is probably one of the best cards of the set, because for a single energy, if you were KO'd by damage last turn, you do 70 for 1, 20 otherwise, but you know, you use this literally as a revenge killer, so very powerful there. Medicham does 80 for 3 energy, 20 to itself as well, but that synergizes kind of with its first attack, where Force Palm lets you put damage counters on one of the opponent's Pokemon for every damage counter Medicham has on it, so that's kind of fun. Munchlax is intriguing because Heave is a decent attack, discard 2 cards out of your hand and then flip 2 coins, 30 per heads. That's honestly really strong for multiple reasons, but the discard stuff can actually be really good by itself, so not too bad. Noctowl lets you check out face down prize cards, which is fun, I suppose. Yeah, it lets you move stuff around, that's always neat. And then Extra Sensory is 80 for any free energy if you match your opponent's hand size, which we can't really do too effectively at the moment, outside of like Copycat, but still, kind of fun. Nothing else too interesting. There is a Weavile over here that does 10 damage for every Dark Energy that's on all of your Pokemon, but we don't have acceleration for that. This is the first set where Basic Dark is available, so we don't have the acceleration to make that kind of thing work right now, but it is still pretty cool. And then it's down to the trainer cards, which are mostly kind of like there's half and half, some new ones, some reprints in here. We do have Night Pokemon Center as a new one, where if you got to choose one of your Pokemon and then flip 2 coins. If you flip 2 heads, you fully heal it. If you flip 2 tails, you discard all the energy on it. So it's like a mini, it's literally just a coin flip version of Pokemon Center. Nobody should use it. Plus Power gets a reprint, which is really neat here. Pokédex Handy is pretty solid. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one to the bottom of the deck and the other one into the hand. So a very good turbo card, which could be cool. Professor Rowan, I think it's neat, but a lot of people seem to really hate this one. Maybe it's just a little bit outclassed. You shuffle draw 4, but you keep 1 card from your previous hand while you do so. So the way I saw this is like, oh, you could keep Red Candy and then shuffle draw 4 looking for the stage 2, right? But then Evolution Search is mostly tied to supporters, so I guess it's not super good here. Speaking on supporters that aren't very good, Rival is probably one of the worst ones of all time. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, and then the opponent picks the 3 of those cards to go into your hand, and the other 2 get shuffled into deck. So they just take the worst 3 cards out of your 5 revealed and put them into hand. Absolutely terrible. Speed Stadium is the only stadium card of this set. The turn player can flip until tails, and for every heads they flip, they draw a card. Yeah, okay, maybe some turbo builds could use it, but it's risky leaving that for the opponent. And that is it. Super Scoop Up gets a new artwork, which is adorable, and we will see this today. But yeah, not really a lot else going on. So what are we playing today? Well, I will admit I'm not supremely happy with the list at the moment. But this is as close as I managed to get to something I think is respectable here. I pulled quite a lot of Empoleon. I pulled like 2 and I got 1 from the deck. So we have the full enough playset of Empoleon here. And I managed to trade into a couple of Absol EX during the week. And we can't play the world's winning Absolution style deck because that is like all EX focused, using stuff like Rayquaza EX, which we just don't have access to. So instead, we're taking a little bit of that and we're going into the Empoleon line as the main sort of spread / support stuff here. So the reason for this is because Empoleon is just really good at doing spread damage, right? The Empoleon itself, as I said before, snipes 40 for 2 energy, or does 70 for 3, and if you flip heads it snipes 20. But the Prinplup is where the sniping really gets good. For 1 water, you do 10 to each of the opponent's Pokemon. We've seen this kind of attack a lot in Gen 3, and it didn't really do much, but that's mostly because we didn't have the support for it. Prinplup's Brine also snipes 40 for 2 energy, but it only does it if the opponent's Pokemon has any damage counters already on it. So that is where Jolteon comes in, because Jolteon, when you EX, when you evolve into it, puts a damage counter on everything of the opponents. So really, really good stuff there. So we have a lot of bench damage potential with these, but it gets even better because Absol EX is probably the best card when it comes to this stuff. Cursed Eyes, when you bench the Absol EX, lets you move 3 damage counters from one of the opponent's Pokemon to another one, so you can just shift damage around to where it's needed in order to get KOs. You can get KOs in the middle of turns with this too, which is really cool. Psychic Pulse also does 30 for a Dark and a Colorless, which is 40 in this deck when we have the stuff going, right, with the Special Dark. And it also does 10 to each of the opponent's bench that already has damage counters on them. So the synergy, of course, is you evolve into Jolteon, and then you put damage counters on everything so Absol can spread even more. You've also got Espeon EX that can snipe 30 for 2 energy. The main use of this thing, though, is for Devo Flash, where you devolve the opponent's one of the opponent's bench, and that can often get KOs as well, which is pretty cool. But the whole goal is to put a ton of damage counters down and then move them where you need them and score lots of really cool KOs. So it also covers quite a lot of type bases. I initially did have 2 Espeon in here, but I'm bulking up the Empoleon line because I think that's going to be more important in here. So we're going to try that. As far as the other stuff, there is a 1/1 Porygon 2, which I kept prizing in testing, but I can't afford another one in here, I just don't have the space. Draw until 6 is kind of important in this deck. We don't have a ton of draw supporters, because we need a lot of search, so that comes in instead. I'm putting 1 Cast Form in here instead of the 15th Energy, because yeah, it would suck to start with it, but it is a searchable thing off of Mentor, and it also lets me preserve energy in play. I can use this as a double rainbow on anything, which means Jolteon's second bite is playable. Absol is charged with 1 energy, and Empoleon is double water already, so really, really good stuff there. The rest of it is all into the trainer stuff. So still playing the Holon engine. It's the last time we can do it, so I'm gonna just go for it. Free Transceiver, it's kind of leaned down though. Free Transceiver, 2 Mentor, 1 Farmer, and 1 Adventurer. The Farmer is the only form of good recovery we still have right now. Next set will be replacing this because it's rotated, but still good. And then Adventurer is just a draw card that we can get back a few times, so we've gone for that. 4 Super Scoop Up, because all of our EXs are coming into play abilities, and we want to be able to reuse them. So that's the way we do it. Also, we could take 2 prize liabilities off the bench too, which is pretty good. One Warp Point, because Cessation Crystal could be pretty annoying. Usually don't see 2 Cess played down because Windstorm is a thing. Windstorm also helps against Curse Stone, so we're going to go with that there. And the only Stadium we play is the one Giant Stump. This looks weird because we're a spread deck, but we're a spread deck that uses EXs that we want to get off the bench. So we can Giant Stump and remove the 2 prize liabilities once we've used them. So I still think this is really good here. As far as the supporters go, initially I had 4 Elm and no Celio in here, but I'm realizing as I go more towards the 1 prize side, we want Celio in here. This lets us get Porygon or Porygon 2, as well as all of the Empoleon line. So 3 Celio and 2 Elm. We need the Elm if we want to search for the Jolteon and Espeon EXs, so we still need a couple of this, but this is the better card overall. 2 Copycat. I think 3 might be a little bit too bricky here because not every deck is going to be drawing a ton of cards all the time or keep a lot in hand, so there is that. But Steven is also a little bit annoying sometimes because we just don't have a ton of cards, or the opponent doesn't want to bench a lot because of our spread damage shenanigans. So I think we need a couple of each, so there is that. And afterwards it's just the energy. We want 2 Special Dark to attack with the Absol, Multi to attack with everything. Critically, this is the main way we get to use Psyloop on Espeon, which if the opponent does have a lot of trainer cards down, like their own Stadium, etc., then this will do 90, 120 plus, so very powerful effect there. 6 Water, because our main attacker needs a bunch of them. 2 Lightning, because we need to attack with Jolteon as well. Second Bite is a really good attack, actually, that synergizes with everything else here. 20 plus 10 for every damage counter that's already on the opponent, so really solid stuff with that. And then 2 Scramble Energy, because we do give up 2 prizes with quite a lot of our things, so going behind on prizes isn't necessarily out of the question, and Scramble Energy is a 1 energy Aqua Jet, which is really good, because we don't have energy acceleration otherwise, so definitely need some of that. So that is pretty much that. Looks like everybody else is in games at the moment, so yeah, unsurprisingly, Matt is playing exactly the same thing as before, and looks like, yeah, we want no part of it here. So, what up with this being exactly the same thing that I'm seeing here?
No, I'm out. I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah, I got the turn 1 Lunar Rock. It is different.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it. I believe the only card that has been changed in that deck is down 1 Dragonite.
Oh dear.
I'm not playing against decks that are single player. I'm not doing it.
Fair. This is not a single player deck. I agree with Lunar Rock is really rough against.
It very much is. Practically the same thing as Manectric. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Cal. I know this is bad for the stream and all.
Yeah. I know.
I've made my position clear on this. I'm not doing it.
Do you want to play against Cal?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, my whole thing got turned around there. Right, okay. Wait, is this still my thing? Yes. Yeah, this is the right thing, okay. I had to be sure there because my whole everything got turned around for a second there, so it's just, yeah, making sure this is the right thing. Alright, let's see how this goes then.
Mulligan?
I do not. Ooh, yeah, a lot of fire energy and the one chicken. Other than that, yeah, not a lot. Okay, so I will take that mole. I will bench it. Yeah, let's see what we get then. What do you want? Well, we got to flip first, right?
Yeah. Tails.
Yep, so you are going first. Yep, so for, I guess this is one thing I haven't actually said on stream yet, of the new rules for stuff. We do draw going first, but we can't play trainers, supporters, or stadium cards anymore. So there's not even playing like dual balls or anything before we have to quit. So, yeah. Anyway, proceed. Sorry.
We're gonna tail whip.
And you get it, so, oh no, my zero energy pack is useless this turn. What are we gonna do? Okay, I think this is probably the best bet. So seeing Ape and stuff, if you were looking at this objectively, I know we built this in the week, but if we were looking at this objectively, you see the Chimchar down and you go, okay, there's probably not going to be much where Windstorm is actually going to be that necessary here. So I think that's a reasonable enough discard to lead this off with. Because most of the time the Ape decks aren't exactly playing the Crystal and whatnot. Okay.
They can, but not most of them.
Yeah, they can, but you'd have to really change the way the deck looks in order to do that. And granted, you don't have the level X right now, but that's not enough of a reason, I think, to do that. So, all right, well, could be better, could be worse, I guess. We'll get an Eevee, we'll get the Piplup, and I think I want to grab an Absol for the hand here. So that goes into the hand. These, of course, do get benched. I will put down... I guess I'll just put down a lightning on the Eevee here, and that will do. Go ahead. Because I can't peck, because you disabled me. Yep.
Delcatty, energy drop.
Mm-hmm.
Poland transceiver.
Mm-hmm.
We'll play Mentor.
Discard Celio,
Discarding
okay?
Celios.
Yep. Okay.
I should probably be aggressive.
Okay. Jeez, really? Wow. God damn, dude, okay.
Blitzstein the Piplup.
Sure. Fuck's sake. Alright. Wow. Just wow. Okay. Well, I didn't want to do it this way, but I guess I'm gonna have to now. We're gonna use Elm here. Yeah, I really didn't want to have to do this, but I guess that's what we're gonna have to go for. We're gonna have to go for the Jolteon here. So we will get that to spread 10 to everything. Yep. Okay, so how does this math out? So second bite at the moment is doing 30 and then 60. So that actually maths out fine.
I would need a DRE and 2+ power.
You would, which, I mean, is not beyond capabilities, but seems kind of unlikely, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put a water down, and yeah, we'll second bite for 30 here. Yeah, I was more double checking if I needed that absolve or anything here. It's like, did I need to put more damage on this thing first? But no, I don't. Okay.
Fortunately, that's a pass.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, so... a lot of pressure, but... Yeah, fall back on that, and that's going to be pretty good for Steven here to draw 5. Get ourselves down a Primplop. Oh, that would be interesting. I guess that could be done. Would that be good? It's maybe a bit dangerous. I'm kind of thinking whether I want to like Aqua Shower here to save the Jolteon from being in harm's way, but might be a little bit risky.
Could be spicy because again DRE and then the Primplop Stone.
Okay, let's do it this way then. I will. Yeah, no, I think we're fine doing it. I will absolve 3 of the actives counters onto the Torchic. We are gonna retreat, and yeah, I mean, I guess I don't see a reason not to. I'm just gonna put the Scramble because that's actually live at the moment for it, and yeah, we're gonna Aqua Shower, so it does 40 to the actives. This goes up to 50. Yeah, gets the KO on the Torchic. And yeah,
goes up to 80.
No, because I moved 3 damage counters away from it.
Oh.
In order to knock out the Torchic.
Right, yeah.
Absol moves the counters away, so.
No, just not getting energy.
Ah, damn. Yeah, because
behind.
My sort of thought with that is that I actually had Cast Form in hand, so next turn
I was looking for this turn 2.
Yeah, like next turn I could have bounced the Cast Form back into the or bounce the Scramble back with the Cast Form, so I could bind the active if I wanted to. Needless to say, of course, my freaking Porygon was prized, so I couldn't pull that out turn 1. But yeah, I figured
disastrous prize on the last.
Yeah, that definitely hurts because you really want that mentor to get to that. Yeah, it's an awkward game because it's like it's not even necessarily the absolute worst matchup for you at this point because you just hit so hard so quickly. So yeah, it's typing, but it's
just
like
streaming it.
Yeah, it's just getting it consistently is the hard part for the deck, isn't it? That was pretty quick though, and it seems like there's more going on. Do we want to take another crack at that, or because these guys seem like they're in the middle of something right now? So, with that being like 3 turns, I thought maybe you want to. I do not have anything in this hand. Go figure.
Right, I'll take my mulligan then.
Would have been alright if I had a basic. I think probably an EV specifically, but we will draw. Okay. I think that's probably the right one. Okay, what would we like?
Let's go, heads.
Nope, so I have to go first here. Alright, we'll draw. I suppose this could be where it gets a little bit awkward for the start stuff here. Yeah, that is gonna happen.
It is a +10 one, yeah.
It is +10, yeah. That's something I also hadn't mentioned. Yeah, the weakness and stuff has changed now, so it's not ×2 anymore for things. It is, not always anyway. There will be a way of getting to that, but yeah, it's positives and stuff now. So right now, this is technically the same, but it's still gonna do it that way. Right, I don't like doing this without doing any damage with it, but I'm going to put the Absol down because I'm going to put a Dark on it. And yeah, then I'm going to have to peck for 10 plus 10.
Put down a Torchic.
Yep. That one would still take double damage because it's not plus on that thing.
Full on Mentor, discarding fire.
Yep.
Then it's not an energy card for game.
Yep.
Get a bunch more monkeys out because this one might not be lasting too much longer. I'll attach fire to this one and scratch for the 10.
Yep. Da-ba-da. Put my own thing on. Alright, we will draw. God. This is a very strange spot to be in right now. Yeah, I don't like it. We will Elm here. And hope. Oh, that's wrong buttons. Alright, just clicking everything else here. Hope to God that it's actually in here, right? Oh, it actually is. Okay, good. Yeah, because I think this is probably what I have to get here, because otherwise I'm not getting anywhere with this right now. You know, Peck is cute and all, but okay, so it's that. Fine. Alright. So we have that, we've got the Porygon, can't really do much else with the hand, so I'm going to draw 2 with the backup. Okay, that kind of does something. Yeah, that could be kind of cool. What point? I didn't trust that I was going to be able to do something with this before, so I couldn't actually burn this out of my hand beforehand. Yeah, we put in the Absol, bench another Pippi, lightning on the Absol, and this has got a special Dark on it, so it's going to do 40 active and 10 to the Chimchar with damage. Yeah. I can see why this deck did well too, even though obviously Empoleon is different for it, but yep.
Full on adventure, discarding fire. Oh, not good.
Oh no. Well, at least you've got that.
Scratch for 10.
Yep. Oh, that sets it up perfectly too. Yikes. Okay, we'll draw. Right. Not super pretty, but gotta do what you gotta do, huh? Right, we're gonna attach a water to this one. So the supporter for turn is Celio. Just gotta work out what I even want here. I suppose it should probably be Primplot, right? Oh, thanks, game. If I'd have back up first, I would have had Primplot and Empoleon in hand from that. Go figure. Oh, I hate this game sometimes. I kind of wonder if Eevee is actually the better play here. Because then I just... No, knowing my luck, if I don't get Primplop and I try and back up for it, I'm just not going to draw it, and it's going to be really stupid. So I'm just going to get the Primplop to evolve this one. Back up to draw 4, go up to 6 cards in hand. And that's why we do that, because I get the Eevee anyway. And yeah, I've attached for turn as well, so we will just do the Psychic Pulse to... Yep. Gets the Chimchar to 40, and now we die to Infernape, but that's probably okay.
Full on adventure,
Maybe not if that's
Discarding
happening.
Chimchar.
Oh god, yeah, this is dire straits for you, huh? Ah, you do get it though. Okay, okay. That's nice.
And we'll take the knockout.
Yep, so 2 prizes for that. It's a shame, if I'd have picked up like another Absol, or if I could have picked up another Absol, I could have spread some more damage around and it would have been really good. Yeah, you gotta discard those. This might be telegraphing things a bit, but I'm gonna promote the EV here. Sweeple draw. Now I'm thinking, was that even... No, that was kind of correct, because I'm just looking at it going, what else would I have done in this spot, to be honest? So, I have Printplot, and now we are at 6, so will Steven draw 4? Which means Porygon's not going to get to do anything this turn, but it was never going to anyway, let's be honest. Okay. Not going to do enough anyway. God, that's like all the stuff in the world. What do we do with it? Well, first I think we take a prize, because we're going to Jolteon here, so spread 10 to everything, KO that. Unfortunately, HP Chimchar on the bench. And that puts 10 on the active as well, for what it's worth. Well, thankfully that also disables the energy that would kill Infernape here, so... because I hate saying it, my fucking prize was Empoleon, so I can zero retreat out. Because, yeah, I had Scramble, but I couldn't do everything in one shot with that, so... we're gonna Ice Blade knock out the Skitty here, I think, is the best bet. Yeah, because for some ungodly reason, this thing is water colorless, not double water for it, so...
I don't think this is gonna be viable any other way here.
Sure. So now it's 7 we're looking at. So hold on, lass. We've kind of seen this one before, but for those who have not seen this in a while, you count the total prize cards to the left. You look at that many cards in the top of your deck, and any energy cards you find there, you can show them to the opponent, put them into your hand. You did get a double rainbow, so there is that. As well as a couple of fire. Nice. Okay. Whoa. Yep.
Do the 90.
Yep. Good old plus power coming back on in here. Alright, we will draw. Well, I have the water, so I'll do that here. So Aqua Jet's going to be viable now.
No, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too much aggression too early on the stuff with it there.
The prizes were energy.
I had one of the multis, and that was that. My prizes were, other than, I guess, that was lucky getting into the Apollyon off of that, but Empo is a bot, that is for sure. Yeah, since the midweek stuff, I have leaned heavier into it than I did before. I'm on a 4-3-3 for it now. Took out one of the Espeon and was going back and forth on the energy a little bit. Put the cast form in as a sort of substitute for things that way, because yeah, you've got to still bounce stuff back, but it's like you can mentor search that, and it helps everybody get their energy set up. It's a 1-card Absol at that point, so I was like, yeah, makes sense.
Oh, that's a rip. Search it. Oops. Oh boy.
I mean, I can try. I mean, I guess I didn't play it last week, so... Oh, last round.
Yeah, no, I refused.
I didn't get to see much of it. Then the fact I saw there was a Delta D9, like the the energy accelerating one, so maybe it's not deafened.
Turn 1, Lunasol. Nah.
Alright, let's. Oh, you. Alright.
Yeah, hang on.
Who's moving? Yeah. I guess I should probably move over to the right voice room.
Hello.
Hello. I don't think you can be too surprised with the tone of the result of the conversation here.
Yeah, I mean, I respect his, not wanting to play against it. I do think it's meaningfully different, and I'll be curious to hear your feedback too, because I guess it is, like, obviously it's Dragonite, so there's that similarity.
I mean, I didn't actually play the one last time round, so I don't know. I'd have to see them that way, but I have a feeling you're going to be hard pressed to actually properly justify that, but we will see.
Yeah, I think really he was just more frustrated about Lunarock.
I mean, that is annoying to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It is.
To say the most.
I actually don't think this hand is even playable. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't play with this going against what we're going here, so I'm gonna immediately skip that one.
Perfect. Yeah, I was just echoing your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I just like I can with no support. There's no anything in that hand. It's like no, I can't play anything meaningfully out of that one to make this worthwhile.
Do you want me to keep the hand or get a new hand?
Do you want to keep that hand?
Up to you. I will say nothing about it.
I mean,
was Pep gonna play a game, or is he waiting on Sai?
I think those two have already played, so you might want to hop in that voice and see if he wants to go. I think you'd probably be interested in it. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because like technically this would be the start of a new game, but I don't mind, to be honest, because it's my own thing here. It's my own thing of saying I can't really give you a meaningful game out of the hand I had there. So I'll let that be. I'll let you be the judge of it in that aspect.
Alright,
okay.
I like it, which I think means that I should be impartial and just shuffle a new one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It wasn't like a god hand or anything, but it was, it was solid.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Alright, what would we like?
Heads.
No. So, yeah, so we do get to draw, but we don't get to play any Trainer Stadium supporter stuff. So, good job I have a water energy so I can call for family still.
Yeah.
I can at least do something, which is good.
Yeah, that's a neat build you got there. I wasn't anticipating that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do the world's form right because I can't do stuff with rays that I don't have, etc, etc. So we were looking at it going, what can we do instead then? And it's like, well, the Empoleon spreads, right? So, okay, so you've got Lynette. I just want to double check the rest of my stuff here.
Yeah, take your time.
Because I saw a decent bit of it, but just one.
So that means you're not playing. Probably not playing Cursed Stone, probably not playing Cessation. So that's good.
Well, I only have one Cessation, so although I do have it in my more quote-unquote pure Empo build, but like I only have one, so that was also a little bit of a driving factor here. Cursed Stone I could still do, that card is still cracked, but
yeah,
not in this deck, obviously.
Okay, let's do that, and instead of this, These are all going on the bench. No.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you bench that one.
Yeah. We'll wait.
Okay, yep. You fool, you've preserved my energy on the bench. It's exactly where I need it.
Yeah. Well, I figure it's doesn't really do me any good to have to pay the retreat and
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm trying to make light of the situation here.
Yeah.
Because
Good
let me
dual
tell
as
you,
well.
it's not easy.
What do I want here? Decent. I had that in the deck. One of my additions. And it's prized.
Trust me, I have been prizing the parts of my 1-1 in every single fucking game almost that I've been playing with this. I do not understand. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's the price I pay for playing a 1-up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you've got a lot of 1-offs in the first place, that's gonna hurt, but...
Yeah, that's fine. Just cast one again.
Yep.
And we'll do
Shuffle up first. You haven't done that yet. There you go.
Okay.
Well, at least if you're playing the cast form, it's unlikely to see Crystal Beach coming out of this. So that would be maybe a little silly, I don't know. I'm too used to the Gen 7 Jirachi because it's trainers only that you've got to show what you get, but obviously this one you don't, you know.
Yeah. It's different. Alright, I'll pass there.
Okay, I wake up, which is pretty good. Right. So, what can we do from here? Just looking through, we got 7. Let's go mentor, discard the cutest super scoop up you ever did see. Seeing it's adorable artwork on this, like my god.
That's what a nice coincidence.
It really is. Like, that was obviously never going to be planned, but it is such a nice thing to just have that, you know.
Yeah. And that's weird too, because there's not like it's not like Piplup or any of the evolution line is a good scoop up target. They just kind of picked it as starter Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not particularly good, is it? I mean, there could be a very funny thing you do with it with the level X, right? But you'd need 2 Empoleon in play for that already.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could go level X, use the Royal Command, and then scoop it, and level X the second one, and Royal Command that with that as well. Because I don't think it's a hard one per turn that's on that, but that would be, you know, stretching it quite a lot. Let's just put it that way. Not really sure. So obviously Lightning Dragonite is going to be here as well, so that is kind of annoying, but then I don't get obliterated by it, which is interesting, because, you know, plus 30 instead of times 2. So
yeah.
It actually doesn't one-shot me, which is funny, and if you just agility, that hurts, but then I can hit the bench anyway, so I guess I should probably still establish these guys. It's a curious one, because I'm looking at what else I might actually want to get here, and I'm really not sure. What else have we got here? I'll probably get the cast form myself here. I wasn't a massive fan of, like, I didn't have this in at first, but the more I've seen it, it's like, oh yeah, you just mentor for it and it's great, so, you know. Just makes sense. So we'll bench those, we've got Primplup, we have an energy, and I think, is it enough to just Aqua Shower here? Just think, there's one other thing I'm looking at as to whether I want to use it first. Sure, we'll Stump as well, why not? I don't think I'm going to get to use it for too much longer. And yeah, we'll Aqua Shower to spread 10 to everything.
Let me drop. Okay.
It's like it might interrupt, but if it doesn't, I don't think I'm going to be too beat up on it. Yeah.
Storm Stomp.
Yep. Yeah, because it's like, because of Dragonite being an old card with it, if you Trainer Lock it, then it also locks my stuff that way. Yep, so draw 4.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Blur can pretend to understand how the TCG works. Yeah, I don't know how much of that you're going to actually get to see here, but we'll try.
It's a very intriguing hand.
Kind of like the sound of that? I don't know. It's weird.
I've seen much worse. I'm not sure if it's good. I guess it's probably good. Okay, is that Snipe 40?
Yeah, if you've got a damage counter on, so obvious convenient synergy with its first attack.
Yeah. Very unlikely to attack. This turn. Okay, I guess I'll do Jirachi.
Okay.
If that's stuff with Wishing Star. Huh. It's in the hand. It's in the hand. No. This. Okay. Then. Yeah, so again, definitely not attacking. Let's do Cast Swamp.
Okay.
Let's do. What happened here? Sad. Go Dragonite.
Yeah, I figured you had to have that if you were doing it this way around.
Yeah. Can I bench for ADX too?
Yuan's supposed to still be allowed to use that. That's been played twice as an attacker, right?
Oh, you're right. I
Because
forgot I got it from...
Pepper used it and then you used it.
Does it not fall under tech rule? Since
It's an attacker. That's not a tech of any sort. How is that a tech? I mean, unless you want tech attacker to be a separate thing, that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I don't know.
We can talk about it more.
Yeah, we'll keep it down for now, but...
Well, no. I was saying, or I was going to say, I can swap it with a basic energy.
Nah, we'll keep it for now. It's already down, we might as well.
I would rather swap it with... Oh. It's better for me as a Rayquaza, but I would feel more fair about it swapping it with an energy or something.
I appreciate that, but I guess for this, I mean, we can't vet decks beforehand, right? But I guess for we might as well just keep it on the board at the moment. To be honest, it's already there.
Okay.
So as potentially bad as it is for me, it's like it's there now. So you know.
All right. At your wish, I will take what I hope or what I assume is a nice advantage.
Well, it probably is, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
It does give up 2 prizes after all, so.
Yes, that's very true. Okay. So before I waste too much more time, our detached support evolves everything that evolved. Okay, I think that's a pass. Let's proceed.
Alright. Okay, wow.
I don't
Sometimes
think
it
I've
do.
lost coin
Yeah.
flip yet. Like I've
Yep.
lost all my setup coins, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, it can be. I
Or-
actually think I did alright with my setup turn this time around, but yeah, it's not always the case.
Yeah.
Okay, will Steven for 4.
Okay, hit Pepper with a 2-head slam. I think I've gone second every game. Oh, no, I got a Tails on as well. I think that's game. It's working out this.
That is an interesting hand there, huh? Okay. Yeah, I did indeed end up picking the Pop 6 artwork for it in the end. I was complained at because I was just using the base Diamond Pearl one because I was building this deck after like the other one and whatnot, and I just was using what was in the collection at the time. And I got complained at midweek for doing that, so you know. Oh god, okay, right. How do we proceed with this one? This is a weird one. I will put the cast form down. I think that makes at least some amount of sense here. It's kind of what it's there for. Let's put another one of these guys down. Yeah, I was just thinking about it. It's like, yeah, you Steven for 4 as well, so it was down before. So we do I need that as well? Probably not. Yeah, sadly damage is too spread around to do that. But it probably makes the most sense to brine the Dragonair, right? Yeah, it probably does, so that's what we'll do.
Huh, okay. Dual ball.
Mm-hmm.
Wah, wah.
Oh well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. This. I want to play Adventure out of the experience.
Okay.
Okay. I can't just let you snipe me to death the entire game. So I feel like I gotta do something.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be a little bit careful about array, right? But, Ray doesn't actually kill Primplop yet, which is very funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Retreat.
Okay.
Dragonite.
Yep.
And I guess Stefan.
Yep, so 40 trainer block. Alright, we will draw. Yeah, this is why I wasn't too fussed about playing the stadium down before, because this is old lock, it would still work, which is really annoying. Alright, well, Celia, I kind of do need to keep this thing alive, right? So...
Yeah.
And Empo does not die too easily to deafen, so... So we'll get the Empoleon, we'll evolve, put the water that you know about. Do I need anything else done here? No, that should be fine. We'll Aqua Jet. Okay, no snipe damage, unfortunately. That hurts quite a bit, but we'll live.
Some stuff there. Okay. It's definitely dead. Yeah. So that's good. I guess we'll go L to Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Steven.
Yep.
Attach. Play most of this. Yep. Okay. So just a.
Okay. Right. Let's see if we can actually do anything from here. Does that count? Yeah, kind of. Okay. What's the best plan of attack here then? Let's go Absol, shift free from the Dragonite to the Rayquaza. I was hoping to get the Snipe last turn so I could have removed the damage from the Snipe to the Dragonite and KO'd it mid-turn, but obviously didn't happen, so, you know, make do with what you've got. We will Adventurer, discard, Piplup. I was so restrained in not benching that Piplup. It was really hard not to, but you know. Okay. What do we do from here? That could be good. Where are we at? So this needs 60. Yeah. Okay. So that doesn't quite work. Oh no, wait, it does. Wait, that's actually kind of cracked. Fuck it, yeah, that's kind of cracked. Out, Jolteon. Spread 10 to everything. Absol 2. Put the damage onto the Ray from the Dragonite. Multi, second bite is 80. No, 90 because you've got 7 damage counters on. So 20 plus 10 for each damage counter.
Nice.
And this preserves the Empo now, so I can use that later on. Conveniently within Ice Blade range too.
Okay, let's do a. Ray. We've got Baby Dragonite.
Yep. Yeah, and this is where you try and justify this as a different deck. Yeah. Okay.
I think I want to reveal my other fun little something. I think this is going to be the turn. I got to think it through a little bit though.
Yeah, understandable. That was quite a shot, I will admit. I had one Absol in hand and drew into the other one, and I was like, hang on a minute. I was just gonna Aqua Jet and just hope to snipe on the Ray, and then I looked at it again and going, hang on a minute. If I go Jolteon here, I can actually just like, you know, keep this thing in play for is valuable enough, and just be able to second bite it down. This is why I love stuff like Absol. Like, this card is absolutely like dream card for me, because being able to manipulate the stuff around, it's the same as with the bats, right? You know, that was probably the favorite deck I played of all of this so far, was the Dark Crobat stuff, and it's exactly the same. You just checking what you, yeah, okay, right, just making sure. It's like, yeah, just checking what you've got there first.
Yep.
Imagine running more than one Absol EX, right?
Ooh. It's kind of compelling too.
Yeah, right, DNA?
Yeah.
Is that... That's what we were thinking in the end. It's like, yeah, you can lean into it with this deck, and it's pretty good.
Let's see. Not sure if I'm benching all of these, but that's my...
Ah, the Plusle, nice.
Yeah.
Makes sense in a format where you've not got the same going first rules and stuff, right? So that's a good lead if you find one.
Yeah. That was kind of a last minute addition, but...
Does it work better than the Tauros in this deck then? Or do you not have the Tauros?
Oh, in this deck?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the Tauros.
It was a holo, so...
I guess I just don't think there's any stadiums I'm super afraid of.
Yeah.
Like, they all hurt a bit, and not
Uh-huh.
even like a little bit, but a bit.
Yeah, like
That's
Frontier's probably the worst one, isn't it, really?
Yeah, the trick is, like, if it's Frontier, then I just use the other Dragonite. If it's Hearthstone, just use the other Dragonite.
AKA
Crystal
just
Beach.
use the other Dragonite.
Yeah, and if it's Crystal Beach, then probably this Dragonite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see the Tauros as well. I just wanted a more aggressive option. Let's see, what are you going after? It might not be time just yet. I don't know. No. Alright, I haven't used this yet.
No, you have not.
Maybe it's helpful.
I don't think you had anything to use it with until you played Mentors, so...
Yeah, that's true. I guess I could play it on Stealth, right?
Yeah, it has to be to
Yeah.
bench, so...
Need a little more time. So we'll do 15. Be okay.
22 chip powers, okay. Right.
So I've sniped.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, tell you what, we'll do... I haven't attached yet either, so we'll go
Yeah.
L to... Yeah. So Dragon
Okay. Makes sense.
4. No? It would make sense, but I'm gonna
if
do
you
that
didn't
instead.
have. Okay, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hurts a bit.
There, still have attachment hand.
I should be grateful, I guess, that you can't do both that and attach to the ray.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang, I'm really torn. I guess I can still attach to it. Then what's gonna happen? You're gonna scoop up that, and I'll be sad.
Oh, I wish I could scoop up net. That'd be broken.
Yeah. That would be unequivocally broken. Or I can snipe. Yeah, I definitely want to hit this guy.
He is pretty problematic if you leave him alive.
Yeah. I think then that means I should do this. And end it with Sky High Plus.
Yep, so that's 70, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. Well, I am probably at least partly grateful that I can get items back for this turn. Because I do have Transceiver, so just gotta think which way round is best for this now. Because I have used Cast Form, so that is not available. Yet, anyway. I'm not going to say it's like unavailable forever, right? Because, you know, Farmer is always a thing. Because, like, yeah, Mentor doesn't make a lot of sense when I don't have bench space, so...
Yeah.
So I guess Adventurer makes the most sense here, but I will play the second one for the deck search here. So again, it'll make more sense not to lock myself out of that, right? Yes, a critical error occurred in my initial prize getting, but that's fine. We've got Mentor in there, so I can at least do that. I mean, that could still be good later. Mentor is good for getting Absol after all. So I will play the Adventurer, just thinking on the discard here. It's a bit of a weird one. Because for different reasons, I kind of want like all 5 of these cards, but...
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's okay. We'll discard the War Point. I was tempted to play it because I'm probably just going to be hitting active anyway, right? With in this case it would be with the Empoleon, but I think it makes more sense to go ahead and do it that way. We'll put a Scramble on it because it's watercolorless for its attack, and we'll Ice Blade the active because it is. Let me just double check. It is, yeah. Choose one of the opponent's Pokemon, so. Does not have to be active in order to hit.
Ow.
Yeah. That Gen 4 HP coming in clutch here as well, like being 10 shy of.
Nice big hand of 8.
Yeah, I couldn't exactly pare that down, but it's fine. That just means I have all the options in the world at my disposal.
Yeah. I think it's even that or that. Right, Dragonite. Oh yeah, it doesn't kill, you're right.
No, it's 10 short with Deafen, and the other one's not charged up at the moment.
I have a feeling that's still the right call.
Okay.
It's risky.
Everything's risky right now.
Yeah. I think Puzzle is pretty safe, but I'm not sure it really does too much.
Plusle does 20 to what? The Jolteon that doesn't quite kill it, and then the 2 Absol.
Yeah.
Which it critically doesn't hit active? But maybe that's... well, it's hard to say maybe that's okay, because I don't think it is, personally, but that's my view on this game. I'm not the one who has to figure out the puzzle here.
Yeah. Delta. Huh, what a pickle. And let's see, I guess we better check how much energy that. Let's reset into the deck. Alright, I think I'm gonna go Plusle instead.
I think that I can see the logic for that, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, draw. Top deck, the L. That's good. To do something. Okay, I think this is the fun turn.
Alright.
Fun begins. So we're gonna put down Race Star.
Oh, I see. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I see.
Urge,
Cast form, yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's the reaction I was hoping for. Then
Yeah, that's the inconvenient truth of these ones all having exactly 100 HP right now.
yes. Looks like a nice game. But you definitely have answers. I'm curious to see if...
I'm not sure if I do. We'll see.
Alright, so next we're gonna need basically that. Okay, we're gonna... Yeah, that's fine. Scientist. Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So draw 6.
6. Okay. Huh. Let's go attach. Alright, I believe that's the turn.
Okay. So, alright, let's work this out. You would need your other red candy Dragonite in order to get this. If I'm looking at this right. You've used only one? Huh.
Yeah, I've got both Dragonair out.
That's true, yeah. Okay. Right, so, yeah, that is... Oh, but that is very dirty. Ah, but it's not quite enough. That's great, but it's like just short, damn. Too bad. Wait, or is it? No, this is fine. Jolteon, spread 10 to everything. I mean, I'm in for a penny and for a pound at the moment, right? So...
Yeah. 30, 30.
There's the only catch is that I can't now do the other one, which would help a lot here. But I still think I kind of had to go for that, because there's not really any other way that I could see of this working. Yeah, it's just one of those, if you've got him in hand, then I think there's nothing I could really have done anyway. Because it's like, I can KO this, and that's not a problem, but if you have the switch out and in hand, or like the second Dragonite, Rare Candy, there's nothing I could really do. But I guess, okay, so the only thing that could reasonably be done then is to shut you out of getting the second Dragonite that way, so then you would need switch out, and it's like, do I think you've got the switch out, or do I think you've got Rare Candy Dragonite available, right? Because if you have Candy Dragonite, there's not a lot I could really do, because you can attach from hand, you know, double attach to the Ray on the bench and just nuke it. If you have the warp point, then I kind of lose anyway, and that's, yeah, it's like there's two ways for it, but I can just knock out the Dratini, right? That's the other bit with it. Yeah, it's the Jolteon annoyingly has, I mean, it wouldn't matter anyway, because I couldn't super skip this one, but like the Jolteon annoyingly has exactly 100. I'm just looking and seeing if there is any way that I could do the other stuff here. It's sort of frustrating because it's like really close, but
Yeah.
I don't. No, there's not anything I could have done differently if I didn't evolve. That's not the answer here.
You haven't played support yet this time.
I haven't. Yeah. You'll see why I was deliberating over that before. If I had a third Eevee down instead of this Primplop on the bench, I think this would have been wrapped up, but I don't, obviously, so
Yeah.
because that's the thing, is I can't play two of these effects down in the same turn. That's what's causing me the loss condition here. Yeah, I mean, you've kind of got to have it, so I suppose we've just got to play it as we do. I will attach and I'll just Ice Blade knock out the Dratini. It's like, yeah, you've just got it. You've got to have the Warp Point or the Switch or something for it. If you do, then so be it.
Yeah. Dude, got L. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing I could really do. So, yeah,
Holy star!
that's unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, I can't say I should or shouldn't have won that one because, yeah, but I mean, it was a good game at least.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah,
I would
okay.
have lost by a mile if I hadn't been able to do exactly that this game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
So the deliberation point here, as you can see, I had Celio, but more importantly, I had Elm. I wanted to go and get Elm for Espeon, right? Because I could have devolved a Dragonite, and then I was going to go for that, but I can't do 50 to it, and I don't have space to put an Absol down, and I didn't have Super Scoop Up in hand, because one was prized, and I discarded one earlier, so, you know. So, had I been able to devolve this down and snipe kill it, I think that probably would have been enough to, at least, you would have had to have had all three things at that point. You would have had to have had Warp Point and Candy and Dragonite, right? So,
yeah,
because this other Dratini would have still been alive. But I just couldn't quite get everything together with it, because I just didn't quite have the spaces for it.
Yeah. You were, like, I guess 10 damage short, right?
How do you use Holy Star? Because he's gonna, because he's got the manual attach plus Warp Point plus a Dragonite to accelerate. This is a cast form. It had the cast form on it, so Dragonite accelerate to the bench, Warp Point this into the active, and then manual attach for turn. And that's gonna get to the 2 fire, 2 colorless and do 100 to all of the EXs. Yeah. The Dragonite was what I was trying to work around one way or another, but I just couldn't quite manufacture it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried about Umbreon too. Like,
yeah, I didn't have
that's the one that
Umbreon in
feels
this
scary.
one. Yeah, Umbreon could have been interesting, but like, yeah, I didn't have it in here because there's not enough space.
Okay.
I already ended up cutting one of the EV line down anyway, so I could get more Empoleon in here because I was finding that was too inconsistent. And yeah, like I had 2 Espeon, 2 Jolteon. Normally this, it's funny, like the Absolutions list that doesn't play Empoleon is like 3 Jolteon, 1 Espeon, 1 Vaporeon. I guess for the anti-infernape and the stun stuff, but like Vaporeon could have been interesting in here too, actually. Shuffle draw 4 out of the hand, hope you just don't have it. But yeah, I couldn't justify keeping it in when I was putting the Empoleon and whatnot. It just, like, it would have been fine, but it was like the 60-second card sort of thing, you know. Can't really afford everything in there. And as I started taking out the Elms a little bit so I could put more Celio in. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Interesting
This was
setup
my
though.
other-
Ah, yeah.
other tech.
So wait, what's the cloister do again? Is it like -10 on all deltas or something?
It's bench barrier for deltas.
Oh, so I just Espeon that and I win the game. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah,
I
it's-
wasn't remotely worried about Dog Trio this round, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna Espeon that if it comes up, right?
Yeah, it's a do you have an answer, and if you do have an answer, hopefully it makes you kill a cloister instead of killing something that I don't want to die.
Yeah. But this deck is exceptional at killing things efficiently in that aspect, so
Yeah, I mean
as,
40 health on this is not good.
yeah, 40 on that as well is just an Ice Blade and it's immediately down. Absol can do a lot of work with it too, like Absol plus the Aqua Shower or the Jolteon ping even, so I don't even have to worry about it before it evolves. Like, yeah. I feel like this might have actually been even more of a liability than what the Ray was in the end. The Ray Delta ended up not actually being that good for you in here, because it just put me so much more in the pricing. Like, huh.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe I could have been slightly less greedy with playing like the 2 Absol down. I could have played just 1 and used Aqua Gen instead, but I was like, if I get this in, this protects one of my energies, so I can still Ice Blade and, you know, do a lot of good stuff with that, and this isn't going down in 1 turn. So I was like, that's probably still better if I move the stuff around. And it puts more damage counters on the Ray, which was the most dangerous thing at the time.
Yeah,
I probably would have still
If you're
had
not
to.
anticipating Ray Star, then like I think the way you played it out was fine.
Yeah. I just didn't
Are
have
you
it
gonna-
out in the hand, is the
Yeah,
thing at the
like, are you
time.
going to count on your opponent playing 1 card
Yeah.
as their star slot?
Yeah, no, I didn't have the out in the hand. Like, if I could have super scooped up one of the things, then sure, but like I just didn't have it, and I didn't have a draw card I could use either, so it's like,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
you know. I don't have a lot
Are you
of draw
playing-
supports in here.
Are you playing 4 Super Scoop?
Yeah.
Wow, I was sure you would have a Super Scoop in the hand.
One was prized and I discarded one. Obviously discarded one because of the train. Well, not even because of the trainer lock, but because it was at the start of the game and I didn't have anything to use it with. So, you know, I needed a discard for a mentor, right? And that was that. So yeah, I've just never been lucky at drawing them apparently in this era, because I've played like 4 Super Scoop with this before and been down to like 8 cards in deck and still not drawn one at all. So I just don't have the scoop lot this one. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
That was really close though. And again, if it wasn't for exactly the Ray and just not having an immediate out to it, it's like, yeah, that almost wasn't even close. You know, that was just Empoleon doing Empoleon things for so long in that, despite being up against a lot of lightnings. Scary, isn't it? Now that it's like weakness is not ×2 unless next set you play like late boundary or something, then it goes back to ×2. But it's like you can't even just rely on a weakness matchup for stuff anymore, because that Ray would have been devastating to any lightning weak thing in the Gen 3 format. But Empoleon doesn't like it, but it kind of shrugs it off in its own way, right? You can survive any one hit from that Ray, which is not normal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could have really done that any differently. Let's be honest. Just looking at it, going with what I knew, just going, yeah, it was just going to be a lot better to do it that way. Kind of wish I could have maybe gotten like 1 more bench space for an Absol, but hey, if you don't KO anything for the entire game, what am I gonna do, right? Yeah, it's all good though. What else? Nah, there's not really anything else I could even see, because Warp Point wouldn't have done anything in that situation. I couldn't have knocked out the... I could have maybe... Aquajet with Jolteon would have KO'd it if Dragonite went active, but why would it go active? Like, yeah. Oh well, I'm a lot happier with this deck than I thought I would be, though, because I don't know, I was constantly prizing this in the middle of the week, the fucking Porygon stuff, and I was just like, man, I can't draw anything if I don't have the stuff for it, right? So I didn't get it out in this game, but that's mostly because of the Lunatone Solrock stuff, right? It's like, we know it's not going to work anyway, and I've got plenty of other stuff around, so I'm just going to use what I have otherwise. So
Yeah.
and everything else kind of worked out. I didn't have Cast Form in here initially. I did have the 15th energy instead, but when I was cutting stuff down a little bit to get Empoleon in, I was like, you know what, Cast Form probably makes more sense here. Like, I had a basic Dark, because I had, what was it, Mr. Stone's Project I had as a one-of in here as well, because you could get energy directly from the discard as well, but it's only basic energy, so I was like, let's take advantage of the new basic Dark in here as well, so I can attack with Absol more. But, yeah, when I shifted to Cast Form, it's like, well, Cast Form just fills Absol in one shot anyway, so, you know. So as a one-of, it worked out.
Yeah. I saw the Jason list for Absolutions doesn't have any form. That's just bizarre to me.
Doesn't have any Cast Form? Yeah. Well, I guess I could kind of see why. But then it's sort of weird, isn't it? Because doesn't that deck has like 3 different types as well for it, right? The
Right.
because it has Psychic, Lightning, and Dark, right?
Yeah, he was just playing a playset of multi-energy, which sort of, but it's just so weird when you're playing like, I don't know, 8 basic search cards to not play an energy that can be searched by that. It just gets so much versatility to your deck.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about starting it in here, but then it's like I've got 12 basics in here, so it wasn't that big of a deal in the end. And
yeah,
I don't know, this just did a very good showing for itself, though. Before building this, it was like, okay, maybe next format Empoleon Absol could just be a thing, because I was looking at it going, okay, if we do Absol with the EVs, then, you know, like, Empoleon might technically be a worse form of that, because you got Aqua Shower for it first, but that's still, no, like, this is just a different beast, because it's not relying on 2 prizes. And then I looked at my 2 prize stuff, and I was just, I don't have enough of them, you know? It was just, I don't have the raise. I had 1 Jirachi, but it's like, that's not stupidly amazing, and it's like I didn't really have any other good basic EXs that I could use for it, like, because you can't use Groudon in something like this, it doesn't work. I've got nothing else that really spreads damage in that aspect, so Arcanine, but that seems pretty bad into an Empoleon field, you know. Just casually get 2 prizes off of it for an Aqua Jet doesn't sound good to me. So yeah, so many people pulled Empoleon that I was just like, I don't think Arcanine is even good anymore with this, because it's just going to get drowned in what everybody else pulled. Like, even if everybody plays Empo this week that has it, and it never gets used again until, you know, like Majestic Dawn or whatever with the other one, that's still everybody's playing Empo. So Fire seems really bad right now for that. Unless you're Infernape, because you do so much friggin' damage with that thing. Good God.
Yeah.
I'm ready, man.
Alright. Yeah, I was doing a very little bit of playtesting, mostly like hand setup stuff, but played a couple of games through against the Infercaddy list, and with Lunasoul set up before they even energy drew once. It was sometimes close, because the deck is good.
Yeah, it's still terrifying even at that, you know. Nah, I figured in the end that maybe the natural tankiness of the Empoleon would be enough to sort of see it through a bit. Obviously your deck has got a lot of lightning, so maybe that's not quite as quote-unquote correct, but then I've got other things I can use as well as that, so I don't know. I mean, outside of Super Scoop and maybe you could argue Transceiver, I don't really have items in here anyway, so I wasn't like fussed in that aspect, but that's maybe just me. wasn't specifically building around it. It was just a case of what items am I even using in here, and how do I fit them in when I still need all these search supporters and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Right, anyway, I'll leave you two to it for now then.
Okay. Yeah, feel free to stick around or switch out.
Yeah, we'll move out. Well, yeah, other than Raystar out of nowhere, which I had no outs to in that hand, yeah, we almost had it. and then it was like Raystar out of just about nowhere, and it's like my hand has like no scoops and no draw cards, so guess I'm just losing 6 prizes next turn. Oh no. But it beat Ray Delta, even though that wasn't supposed to be being used. It beat Ray Delta, so...
Yeah, that's out of uses.
I would just like to apologize for my outburst earlier on the
No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it's weird. Like I can see where he's going to justify it, because I don't believe the Dragonite acceleration engine was used last time. But
I think he's only using that because he's down a Dragonite.
probably. But I didn't see the full list last time. I don't remember the full list last time, so it's hard for me to be the arbiter on that one. But whatever. This version did a lot better. And I'm not just saying, obviously, because, yeah, I know it took on 8 better because her a little bit more water, but whatever, right?
I do
It's
think
like...
yellow was the place to be this week, like from a metagame perspective, but...
You can sort of see what I was thinking that way as well. It's like, the only other thing that I could have done instead of Empoleon for this deck would have been like Arcanine maybe, because 30 snipe 20, right, with that. But everybody else almost has got Empoleon, and it's just like, that ain't gonna work. And Infernape probably does... Well, Infernape's a weird one, but it's like, I don't think I could charge up a benched Arcanine fast enough to knock them out in one hit, so... Yeah, it wouldn't be very good, I don't think. And I tried Arcanine EVs before anyway, so what, throwing Absol in there makes it different? I don't think so. So...
I played 2 games into Fernite decks, and it was weird because I wasn't spreading much, but just my snipes were just doing enough damage that I was keeping them off their ability to attack.
Yeah. I was sniping all over the place in the games of size. You know, that was just me maybe, but... I had a couple of neat, like, I think I had an Absol Ice Blade turn in there as one of them as well, where I ended up managing to snipe one of the 50 HP, I think it was the Skitty that I took out, so it was like, there's no Delcatty coming down next turn, probably.
Yeah, that happened.
So, yeah, I think I
just took out the Torchics as well.
Yeah.
Everyone just sniped the Torchics down.
I mean, it's understandable, because the Torchic is the thing that's going to give you a streamable attack on this thing, isn't it? So... Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like I did more than enough sniping with this one to play it that way, but yeah, enjoyable deck. A little bit better than it was midweek, because as you can probably see with it Pepper going down the bottom, I bulked up the Empoleon line in the end, took out one of the Espeon as much as I would have liked to have kept 2. It's like I took out one of the Espeon, one of the EV, switched to a cast form so I could Mentor Search it. That's one of the energy came out for that, because I was like, if I cast form here, that's an entire Absol EX in one go, so that's pretty good. And yeah, just that meant I could switch to a more Celio focused build because I had a bigger Empo line, so that was just a bit more consistent at the start as well. There were too many hands where I had like an Elm but no basic searching, so I wasn't able to go anywhere, right? It's just I can Elm for one of my Evolution EXs, but I don't have the Eevee and I have no way of getting to it, so I guess I'm just top decking for my life now, and that just felt horrible. So swapped the stuff around a bit, and that felt a lot better.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Roselia's in this list.
I gotta be honest, I don't know what the fuck Roselia is doing in here.
I need basics, but I'm not sure if he should be Jirachi or not. The only time I played this deck, it just died. It was fodder. The only real thing it brought was not being 50 HP, so I didn't get donked. So
yeah. No, I gotta be honest, I don't know what the hell Roselia is doing in there.
I think it's meant to be power disruption, but
yeah,
deck has that already.
Exactly. So,
It'd probably be Rachi's.
one of the things that I had to take out of this one in the end, and I could not find space for again, was a third Windstorm. I did kind of want one, because I was like, I know Cess and Curstone shit is going to be coming in, so it's like, if I play against that, I'm going to need something for it. But ultimately, I don't think it's that necessary. It's like, okay, if you've got Cess, then that's annoying, but most of the time I can just kill the thing that's got Cess on it, right? I'm not that deprived by it. Yeah, you kill maybe you kill my Absol turn or something, but that's not that big of a deal.
You're not shut down by Cess. You can play around it.
Yeah, and the Curse Stone could be a pain if I've committed to too many Absols, but that's what Force Super Scoop Up is for. You know, if we can land any of those, then we can take those powers off the bench, and it's not even that big of a deal.
Here as well. For
yeah.
That.
That's the other thing of that was the other one. I had to play that down like super early versus Matt, but like it just got windstormed immediately anyway. It wasn't gonna stick. I was like, I'm just playing this to get it out before Deafen comes in, you know, because sometimes because of this asshole up here, number of cards in hand is rather important to keep track of. So you know,
yeah,
yeah. No, I quite liked the way this shaped out in the end, though. I don't know if I would really change a lot in this list going with it. It seems kind of alright where it is at this point. You could maybe make a justification to try and fit the level X Empo back in here now because I have Celios in the list, but I don't think it's that impressive for this one. Like, getting free water exactly without having Scramble can be a little bit awkward. Yeah, I know Cast Form, but that's a one-time thing, and you don't have that many pure waters for it. Sometimes these things clash too much, so it's like getting free pure water is a little awkward. And yeah, I don't know, like its power is obviously strong, but that can also be a liability in its own right.
Max out the Elms first, but
yeah. The awkward thing, like, if I had access to Empo level X in that last game, I wouldn't have even been able to use it, because Scramble Energy was what was on my my thing already. But it's like, yeah, that would have been my quote-unquote out, would have been to Jolteon and Empo level X, the Rayquaza, but obviously don't run the level X. And yeah, Scramble was one of my energy, so I wouldn't have been able to do it, because I was up 5 prices. Well, 4 prices, and then 1 by the end of the turn, so... But yeah, no, I don't know. Going up against like a lightning focused deck with also the ability of like Trainer Lock and stuff in there, and still basically winning outside of Ray Star is quite something. It shows how good this card really is.
I'm still stunned. I've never really got a Medicham off. I only really got it played once. He got Warp Point KO'd by an Infernape.
Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. This is 110, yeah, okay.
And that's never going to play at all, so prize 1 game, same game, just never came up.
Yeah, unfortunate, but such is life. Nah, deck does look interesting for sure, though. I suppose having the Wallies, being able to go Prinplup early is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's the other reason I was going for. I went up to 4 because the Medicham is both an EX, so I can't see Dios for it, and something I don't mind dropping in early because it's a lockdown piece I can charge into attaches.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, these should probably be Jirachis, to be honest, at least for what I know. I want to give them a chance because they are disruptive, but especially with this here, I've got enough disruption.
Yeah, I could see that.
Whereas Jirachis at least give me a bit more consistency. I'm still baiting my opponent, making them take that prize.
So what were these, the Medicham, was it like Lucario in the original list or something?
There was the original list was Marowak.
Oh yeah, the Marowak, right.
Yeah.
I could still see that as for a thing, because again, it's the having an amount of good sniping down is pretty useful for it. Like maybe
really awkward for it.
It is a bit, yeah. Like, maybe if I had two of those, then that could have been a different direction to take.
Wally for the same reason, because you just don't use it early. You can't. You literally cannot pay for that cost in the first until you've lost the prize. So you have to basically let the Cubone stay out looking for friends.
Wally is such a weird card anyway, though. I don't know. I still don't especially like it, if I'm being honest. But I can see why it would work in here, but I don't like it. It's too much of a brick to me. Like, it's good for the Primplop, so I can sort of see that. But it's like, what if you're already fully evolved in the active, and then all of these are just bricks?
Basically waiting until the next Mon goes out, and that's
Yeah.
like having the supporter.
It's like all of these are bricks, you've got no draw engine in the deck, and you've got much less search because this is your search that you can't play because you don't have the other bits for it, right? So, I don't know. Like, obviously it's still got its place, but I'm just like
The
that's
original
the
list was a
reason.
completely different engine, apart
Yeah.
from the Wallies, because it was a hold-on based list, which I didn't see the need for. I don't think it needed that. It needed mentors that badly. I thought it could live on ball search and
Yeah.
draw.
Man, I
Maybe
really
you
wish
want
I
to
could do
freeze
that as
Stevens.
well. I really wish I could do more ball search stuff with it. It's, instead of just playing the mentor and everything, that it's just been so awkward to do, because not just because of the lock stuff obviously, but just because it's like, well, then I just don't have enough cards in hand afterwards, right? You know, it's just been so awkward.
I got up to a third castaway because that's basically a draw free.
Yeah.
Because it gets into another supporter. Two copycats, two Stevens.
And it's like, also at that point you've still got to play the evolution search, which is going to be this or Elm, right? And at that point it's just a case of is this really worth it when it's like inherently less powerful than the searchable thing that I've got? It's been so hard to justify. Maybe that's,
in my case, I've got one less transceiver. That does affect my decision making.
It does. But I'm just, maybe that's me as well. Like, maybe that's a limitation on my own, like, not even creativity off of it. It's just like, maybe that's something that I should have considered more within this era, is just using more of this type of thing. Because obviously Dual Ball and Great Ball and stuff has worked very well for, you know, a few of the others when it doesn't just immediately get locked out, but you know.
But I wouldn't have used it until Stevens come back, for starters.
Yeah.
Because the draw's just not there about Steven.
See, I would have if I was playing 2/2 Porygon. I think is my sort of line for it.
That's the fair situation to want ball search.
Yeah.
Yes, Polygon works well with it.
If I was like dedicating more to a heavy Porygon line, a Porygon 2 line, I probably would have looked more into that.
Could you imagine if we had Ultra Ball?
That's what I want. No, actually,
Ultra Ball in this format would be crazy.
Actually, Pokemon Communication is the one I really want. Because that's not... I wouldn't say Ultra Ball is broken, obviously, but it clearly would be extremely strong.
It would be 4-off staple.
Yeah, as it should be. You know, it would clearly be...
Good?
It would clearly be very strong in here, in this format.
Did I disturb you in there for a ball?
But
Hang on.
Pokemon Communication is the very slightly toned down version of it that I think would still be extremely good for the format.
I miss Trader when it left, and honestly, I miss having some way of searching Evos in the item slots.
Yeah, because you'd think if we had Pokemon Trader or, you know, Communication when it comes back that way, we wouldn't have to play shit like this. We would still play Celio, right? But we wouldn't necessarily have to play as many of that sort of card. We could easily, we could easily play the stuff like, you know, your PCOM or whatnot, and it'd be great.
The Swin Heavy Ball win.
That's
you
in.
mention that because in Japan there were these cards. Hang on, let me search this up.
I was gonna say in I forget which one is it. Legends Awakens is the one for it? I forget which one the late trio that's actually good is in. I'm pretty sure it's not the Mysterious Treasure one. So yeah, whenever that set comes in, that's when we get it's Hisui and Heavy Azelf. It's a bit better than the Heavy Ball. It's but yeah. It is Legends Awakened. Okay, thank you,
Miracle
DNA.
Diamond.
I was
Here
just
we
going
go.
through my Pogo pile there recently, and I've got 3 Magikarp and 1 Lunar Rock, 2 Soul Rock.
Ha! Neat. I've been
I did
seeing
8
them.
packs.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Lunar Rock deck in videos at the moment. Not being played by the people all the time, playing against them. It seems to be popular on the ladder right now.
Looks like it
Yeah.
would enable Mew V-Star very well.
Yeah, that's not the version I've been seeing more often than not. It's just been them playing it pure because it's a one prizer deck, right? But yeah, no,
Works as a one-prizer.
it does look as if it would do very well for that, which would give it some resiliency against Flying Pikachu, because Flying Pikachu ironically would shut down that entire deck, right? Because it's all basics, and you just don't get to attack when Flying Pikachu does its thing.
Yeah, there was two Japanese only promo prize cards: Mysterious Pearl and Miracle Diamond. The diamond is look at your face down prizes, choose a TSS, show it to your opponent, put it in your hand, then put this card in your prize, set its face up. While the pearl was the same for Pokemon.
Those would actually be pretty good.
They sound really good, yes. Like the pearl's just a better Hisuian Heather Ball, isn't it? For the
Yeah,
most
I think
part.
so. So, with a comment from DNA here as well, I think it's a good time to transition into what we're looking at here. Because his comment is, have fun with the 1 Yuxi per box, KW. We would treat it as a staple card anyway, if we were doing it this way. But I think, more importantly, because of the way some events have gone recently, we're going to, for a little bit, shy away from the pack opening aspect of this. We might still open some anyway, just for the hell of it, because it'd be fun, but we're not gonna do this strictly as a draft thing for now. One of the things that I've kind of realized going through is that, yeah, if people just don't get some of the most important cards, then they're fair bit more limited into A, what they can build in the first place, and B, what they can do to counteract the bullshit that has been plaguing stuff here, and that hasn't really been very fun. Now, maybe Gen 3 is just far more control heavy than a lot of people care to admit, and therefore it generates a lot of these less fun things for it, but we didn't even see the least fun parts of it. We didn't get to see the Mew trick because nobody got Mew. We didn't get to see the Mew lock deck, which probably would have taken like 4 hours for Matt to play a single game of, but he would have played it and it would have been miserable. So, yeah, that, and there, admittedly, because of how long we've been doing this, there is some burnout setting in for stuff here, probably because of some of the previous parts. So I think we're going to try, I don't know exactly what we're going to do with it first, whether we're going to just go into the next format for it, or if we're going to try again on some of the 07 like full stuff. But we're going to still take it set by set, but we're going to go ahead and give everybody all the cards to work with here. And we're going to try that for a format and see what it's like. Try that for like 1 year's worth of sets and see what we think. The logic being that if everybody can actually make the stuff that they really want to play in the first place, then they might be a bit more inspired to play, and, you know, we can have some fun with the stuff that we really want to see happen, rather than hope that we can see what we want happen and then have to make the best of it otherwise.
Or one person gets an exact 60-60 card list and just goes wild.
Yeah, we have had a few times where we've been like 59 cards into like the top deck of the format for one person, and it's just been...
Meta Knight.
Yeah, that was the example I was looking at.
60-60.
Outside
Well,
of Steam.
59-60, I didn't have Ray Star, but Ray Star did exist.
It did exist. And yeah, like the Drag Trode was another one that was really close that way. Like, obviously, Sneasel EX wasn't fully there, but Sneasel EX wasn't even in all the lists.
Yeah, it was
So-
the Dragonite spam build, which was the one we nearly had all of.
Yeah, and that was still really good in its own right, and very, very hard to compete against without actually... Yeah. Yeah, so it was one of those where I think this might be healthier for stuff overall for now, but we're going to trial it and see what is thought about it, and if, you know, people say this isn't what we want to do with it, then we'll just go back, retroactively draft those sets, and then just move on, right? So...
I do have a couple of worries. Like, my first worry is that it's giving Matt 4 sets. I'm just going to be blunt.
Yeah, but...
But I do think you're right that EX is actually quite control heavy, especially looking at what's doing well in RSPK at the moment. It's control. It's Stantler nonsense.
Yeah. And it's weird because I still stand by what I've said in the past with this stuff. If I do feel like there need to be some checks and balances towards some things becoming too ridiculous, like I do feel like there should be some way of outing stuff like Pidgeot and whatnot, but it's the ease of use in this era which has been too much, I think. I actually think that Cessation Crystal as a whole is not actually that like caustic of a card, despite how universal it looks, because it isn't the hardest thing to out in the format, right? We have specifically Windstorm, Warp Point because of Windstorm stopping multiples generally getting played down. Like, you don't want to lose 2 sets for 1 Windstorm, so Warp Point is very often going to be an out as well. And it's like, even just simple stuff that you are likely going to be playing in most decks anyway.
I took out Crystal Beach Cess on turn
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
against Pepper.
Exactly.
That's devastating, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And this was a thing before. It's like, okay, I traded into the other 2, but I only pulled 2 Windstorm. So my initial thing of it would have been like, I can't out this, and I don't have the stuff to play myself because I never pulled. I pulled almost none of like the control stuff, right? I pulled Battle Frontier and that was it. You know, I got like
one
nothing.
Sass Crystal.
Yeah, I have 1 Crystal, 1 Crystal Beach, and I only pulled
I
1
have 2
Space
and haven't
Center.
played them.
Yep. I only pulled 1 Space Center to deny that stuff. I pulled 0 Mount Moon, you know. Desert Ruins, I think, was the only other one I got, but nobody had EXs, so that was useless. So it's like, I haven't even been able to play that stuff anyway, which is fine, but it's another limiting thing. It's like, if you are playing against the overwhelmingly strong decks, and you don't have access to that stuff, then you're at just as much of a disadvantage of if you are playing like a reasonably good deck like we can in draft that happens to get caught in the crossfire of all the denial as well. And it just, either way round, it feels really bad. So yeah, I don't
It
know.
doesn't help that we didn't really have fighting answers for the Medicham, and then when it comes to the Dragonite, there is no answer because it doesn't have a weakness.
Yeah, again, outside of
150 stage 2 doesn't have a weakness.
yeah, although I do feel like as we move forward, those numbers are not quite as impressive as they used to be, given that it gives up 2 prizes when you kill it. So, like, this deck had no trouble with it, actually, and I know you don't play as many trainers with it, but I was just Empoleoning, and I even second blitz it. Like, I put 2 Absol down to move 6 counters away from it, and still killed it in the same turn in the end, because it had like 120 on it before, so it's like, I still used second bite, took it out, so... This deck didn't have as much of an issue with it, and if this is the baseline of what Diamond and Pearl format is going to be like, then moving forward it's not going to be quite as rough in the next era, but we're still going to try and have the whole, you know, like, different deck show up type thing as much as we can, because yeah, we might be moving to more of a league style thing for it here, but that doesn't mean that we should see the same shit coming in every single weekend, you know, like week in, week
I
out
think
for
this
it.
gives us more of an excuse to bring weirder stuff.
I think so as well, because now we actually will have full access to that if we want it. So, the only other thing for anyone who has managed to make it this far, and for those on stream at the moment, the only other thing is this probably won't be done every week from here on out, because yeah, I think we need a little bit more of a break than that. We might still do stuff on some of the Saturdays, but that aren't like quote-unquote YouTube video stuff for it. But I don't think it's going to be a weekly series for the time being, because yeah, I think that is definitely contributing a bit to, you know, getting burned out here as well, so...
Going back to the do we go back for 07 point, I think to answer that question I have to ask, are there decks people actually want to go back and make? Because I
There
definitely,
is a lot.
I
Yeah.
definitely have a couple of I want to go back to.
I could see it.
I would like to mess around with Queendom.
I
Kingdom would go back
did.
a whole other formats, but yeah.
Well, you... Oh, because RSPK, sorry.
Oh, yeah, RSPK is another option we could go for. Yeah.
If people want to with that, we could try that. Yeah, like my main thing I wanted to try was the Absol, obviously, and I managed to get it, so I'm really grateful for that actually, because yeah, I didn't have any need for the Delcatty in the end, and I feel like I got this relatively reasonably off of Matt, to be fair. So it's like, yeah, I'm actually like super happy that I got to try this, but there are definitely things I could make. I wouldn't mind looking at that Swampert Aggron thing actually. I think that could be cool. Right, because we haven't.
Who had the full list of the Inferno Caddy up?
I think
Leo's
Leo.
list.
Yeah, Leo was
Good call.
closest, right? Because yeah, I traded him the Delcatty because I had no use for it, and it's like, well, I get the Absol, so now I can try this, and this just felt like super cool to play. So you know, I was like, yeah, no, I know he's got everything else for it, and yeah, because he had the level X. So I was like, all right, if I trade you the EX, then you know we can see basically full power of this, which is cool, and I just go, right, I get to play what I want to do.
The only
so.
thing I would suggest for him is, I pointed this out to him and he liked the idea of it.
It is a cool idea.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's got
Definitely.
17 energy in here at the moment, so it would definitely hit quite a lot. Yeah, I could see it. I'd play it instead of Scientist, probably.
That's what I was saying, instead of Scientist, maybe that.
Yeah.
Listen to this format, as we're having small hands right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have Delcatty up, you're going to be drawing more off that than you are off Scientist.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much a heads up of what's gonna happen out of the stuff here. I think it's reasonable to look at, and as we said, it should hopefully allow people to do more of what they want. So rather than being constrained with things like, yeah, you've got, or you could do whatever sort of idea you have in mind for stuff now, rather than going, oh, but I don't have this and nobody else has got it, so it's not a viable deck, and grumble, you know. Mr. Flariados over here.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about 07 versus RSPK, because most of what I want to do is in RSPK, but the Altaria T-Tari X really likes having basic darkness.
Yeah. Torterra would be something I wouldn't mind trying out if we don't just have Infernape all over
Torterra
the
gets better in
place.
next format anyway, so...
Yeah, by the end, with Majestic Dawn, Torterra is probably better, but I still wouldn't mind, like, seeing it, or at least, like, trying to build it, you know?
You have to worry about certain things, though, like that Sableye.
Yeah, like, that is one... There is one worry about RSPK. It has to be matched.
Stantler, pull away Cessation Crystal, let's go.
Stantler, Cessation Crystal, pull away Windstorm. That's how it goes.
So when do we build Armado?
We do need to do that. We are doing this, we do need to do that.
That is an RSPK thing.
Right, I think that'll do for stream video stuff though. So thank you for watching if you have this long on YouTube. I never know quite how long people actually watch these things for. Probably not that long, but you know, if you've made it to the end, grats, I guess. This one's only about 2 hours, so it's not quite as bad. But yeah, that's a little bit of what's gonna go down. Probably won't be until like 2 weeks from now anyway, I imagine. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, yeah,